Hi guys, how are you doing? Now, happy Friday. Before you get to the weekend, I wanted to share with you something what I have been actually asked quite a bit about, and that was how was I eating on our holiday? Because we just got back, we've been back for about a week, and as a nutritionist and obviously somebody who is very health conscious and puts, I put my health really at a very high stand to make sure that I get all my nutrients and that I stay away from food which I just don't want to eat, and also as a vegan. How did I do that? So I did share a video before we went on holiday about what I packed into our suitcase, and that really helped tremendously. But basically, how did it really happen? Okay, how did it really end up being? So first of all, I made sure that already when we left our house here, I had my superfoods with me. Really, in all fairness, our holiday for me was mainly about superfoods, fruit and superfoods that really kept me nicely compliant, nourished, my brain calm. I had no cravings. I was incredibly satisfied. And so already when we were leaving, I made sure that I packed a serving of green juice of greens into this little box like that, and I put it in my carry-on luggage because we actually had a very early flight. We were leaving at 6 a.m. and so I knew that on the flight I'd be probably hungry and I would want to have my green juice, and so I packed one serving in here of what I love using. So that's our Hippocrates Power Greens berry flavor, and I also added to it actually extra protein, dark berry protein, which I unfortunately don't have here, but anyway, I added to it, and that was because I wanted to increase my satiety for a little bit longer, and this is really what helped me being hydrated on the plane, which what also helped me kind of keep my energy up, because of course with such an early flight we really woke up at 3. I think it was about 2 or 3 a.m. so incredibly early, and it really helped. Now before that, I also had in a separate box our essential amino acids maps, which are really building blocks of proteins. So I had that together with my gut support, because that really is one of key elements, especially when traveling, right? Because our gut can very easily get upset. So I had also that, and then I had astaxanthin, which is considered to be natural sunblock. So these 3 I actually used first. I had them, I don't know, on the flight at around 8 a.m. and then about half an hour later I had my green juice, and all I did was that I actually filled this in a shaker I had with me empty. I got nicely through the customs, through them all the way to the gate. There I filled it up with water, and then on the plane I just opened the box and put in the green powder, and that was my juice. And honestly, the way this flight journey happened, then it carried with me through the whole holiday, because obviously it was a summer holiday. We did loads of, or at least I did loads of sea swimming, and I was quite active in that sense. And so my days were quite similar, and the way it really happened was that in the morning I woke up at around 8 a.m. I went for a sea swim, came back maybe, 10 in the morning. Then I had my proteins and the gut support and the natural sunblock. Then I went to the pool with my shaker filled up with water and with one of the servings of the Hippocrates green juice with the protein, dark berry protein, and also with best of greens. And that, again, this is just a delicious, gorgeous mix of dehydrated greens, variety like broccoli and kale and Brussels sprouts, all these things which are really hard to come by on holidays, right? Especially on holidays. Like at home, you kind of can get it, obviously. You have the luxury of going to the supermarket and you don't really need to think about it twice. But on holidays, that's definitely not something easy to come by. And then as a result of that, you can easily really have have loads of cravings, especially with all the holiday food around, right? All the fast food and ice creams and all these things. And I must say that actually that combination of Best of Greens and the Hippocrates Green Power Green Juice, which are just different types of greens, like cereal grasses, like wheatgrass, for example, and chia seeds and amaranth and buckwheat and so on. So that combination together with the protein powder, it's incredibly satisfying, and it really, again, it hydrated me, it kept me insane, it kept my brain really just, off food. I didn't need to think about food at all, which was such a huge difference to compare to my previous holidays over many years, where I would be purely relying on my willpower, something what I am not that naturally gifted with. And yeah, it would be just like this game going back, forth. Am I gonna have ice cream? How much? And I want another one, and so on. Whereas this time, I didn't think even about that. And that's all, down to the superfoods. And so yeah, so that would be kind of my morning. And then because I went for another kind of system, so I would have like at least 3 or 4 peaches, ripe, gorgeous peaches. So that would be really my morning, right? Superfoods and fruits. And then at around, I don't know, maybe 2 p.m., I would go back to our cabin to hide away from the hottest and strongest sun. And there I would have like pre-lunch, and it could be maybe half a melon. Yes, I love melon, and again, amazing way to hydrate. So I would be combining like the red watermelon with honeydew melons. It really is absorbed and digested very quickly. So then about 20 minutes, half an hour after that, I would have lunch. And lunch would be a salad, smaller than I normally have, because of this I already had lots of superfoods and fruits, but still salad, green leafies, together with maybe some kind of chickpea or tempeh. Now chickpea was very easy to actually buy in the camp where we stayed. And then I also added some avocado, for example, or sun-dried tomatoes, which I brought with us in the luggage. And then after that, I also had one more green drink, and that would be usually, what was it? Oh yes, it was again, this time only half of the serving of the Hippocrates together with the Best of Greens. And sometimes I also added this Can't Beat This, which is again filled with loads of antioxidants. It's based on beetroot, which I normally don't eat, and you will never ever see me eating. But in this instance, this is actually the only form of beetroot I love and I'm able to get into me. And it's amazing because it's so rich in antioxidants, something that you really want to top up on, especially when you are by the sea and expose your skin to strong sunlight. It's really important to have that. So together with the superfoods, they really kept kind of neutralizing potentially damaging effect of sunlight. And so yeah, and then I was reading a book and I was resting, and then at around, I don't know, 4 or 5 p.m. I tended to have either more fruit, or I would have like a chia pudding. So whole chia seed with Can't Beat This. And that's kind of a new treat or a new kind of snack which I discovered there on our holiday. And it just was absolutely delicious, because Can't Beat This actually also supports energy production because it supports supply and blood flow and energy flow into all tissues of our body, including our brains. So that was so delicious. And then I just went for another sea swim and had dinner at around 7 p.m. And dinner would be cooked, so that would be some kind of, I don't know, potatoes with some kind of lentil chili or something like that, and then more fruit. And that would be really my day. And you can see that there is loads of food, right? Starting with my superfoods, having fruit for breakfast, then having more fruit before lunch, then having my lunch, and that would be salad, followed by one more green drink, then having afternoon snack, chia seeds with another type of superfood, and then basically going for a swim and then having cooked dinner with more fruit after. Now, so what happened, and that's why I'm really sharing it with you, was that I noticed that my brain really, and that is so important for me, that my mental stability around food was amazing. I just had never experienced it before. I even was able, we went out and we ate on our holiday out in restaurant maybe 4 times during that week. And I never ever experienced that before, that I could go out, I could eat fried potatoes, which I normally never eat, and I would be okay. I would not have cravings after. I would not feel like deprived. I would not keep thinking, okay, I really need to have a dessert after. That would never, ever happen before. And I believe, again, it is because of the superfoods and because of overall diet which I had through the day. I was not depriving myself. However, I did stick with the most nourishing, with the most wholesome and satisfying foods which are there. So not processed foods, not oily or anything like that. Right, it was all fruits, vegetables, some nuts and seeds. I forgot to mention those, superfoods, and then some cooked dinner. And yeah, and that just gave me this baseline, this satisfaction, and this clarity and peace of mind that I'm not missing on anything. And so when we went out for the dinner, and I had patatas bravas, which are essentially fried potatoes, and I just was fine. And I had some fries. Never ever in the past that would have happened, because first of all I used to feel incredibly guilty for having it. If I did have it, I would be still incredibly hungry after, and as I said, it would trigger cravings for me big time. And so so I wanted to share this with you because in my opinion we are entitled to feel freedom, the ultimate freedom when it comes to food. And I don't consider freedom when our mind constantly swirls around food and what am I gonna eat and when and how much and can I have this and can I have that and maybe I should stop eating now but still want to eat more. This kind of back forth dance is just a torture. And I had that for over a decade. I used to have that, or I started having this from teenage years of what I remember, and I'm in my early 40s, and I finally reached that clarity and that peace. And I wanted to share that with you because this is available for anybody and everybody. And so if you would like to try any of the superfoods, I have a gift code for you, right? So just reach out to me. It's €50 off your order, so you can try any of these products or all if you want to, and see what difference it can make for you. And I actually wanted to mention that kind of one more thing, because Best of Greens, here we go, is really, I'm in love with this product because it is a product which I tried first. Okay, from all, and it was because it was about a year ago, and it was because I was going on holiday and I knew I would not have any greens around, and I was scared. You see, again, I was scared of having cravings. And so I discovered this and I took it with me, and I had it like a couple of times a day on the holiday. And again, I just felt, the satiety was much more increased. I wasn't as hungry because greens do suppress appetite naturally. And so, I just wanted to again mention this one in this context because honestly, any type of greens, and obviously the better quality, the better, and the better effect, and the bigger nutrient density, also the better effect it has on your brain chemistry, on your clarity, on detoxification, but also in regulating appetite and suppressing cravings. And so so that's what I wanted to share with you. So if you have any questions, please reach out. If you'd like to try any of it, please reach out. And I hope that you found it helpful. Have a beautiful weekend.